Wait, say I'm live? I guess so, yeah. Cool. I thought it did not. All right. Let's do this. Yo, Barbie Master, what's up? All right, we got a character list and fights tier list. I don't know if it has every fight though. Let me fix this. All right. We're gonna do the fight tier list first. And it's gonna be sick. I also have the wiki here just in case I forget exactly. So we're gonna go to Ippo's match history. Just remember everything. One spar. And Date, and then yeah. All right, let's get started. So Ippo versus Miata 1. I thought it was good because it just showed experience versus like a first timer. So I think it's a good 7. And then Ippo versus Miata 2 was pretty fire. I'd give that an 8. I think just showing what he improved in and like his power carrying him, where Miata never doesn't have experience against that. So Ippo kind of like was a cheesed fight because it's just like it was an experience diff. Pretty much like Ippo was pretty much a heavyweight character in Smash Bros. And Miata was like a high tier, but not a top tier. But he's like that agile guy that like does low damage, but a lot of combo strings. And those combo strings lead to a broken smash tech. I haven't caught up with the manga, but is Miata still in Ippo's weight class? Yeah, he is. Still in featherweight. All right, so Ippo versus Oda. I don't even remember this fight. I'm gonna put it in forgettable. Ippo versus Oda. Wait, do I remember this one? Oh no, I do remember this one. This one was pretty good. I just saw like the non-fat Oda. Oh wait, Ippo. Get back to that. I remember this was good. I would put it at 7 though. And then Yoshio. I'm not good with the names. Let me play Yoshio. What's his name? Yoshio what? It's Yoshio. Oh, he pounded on this guy. He destroyed this guy. It's like fine. It's like whatever. And then Ozuma is the one that's like really fat. Oh wait, no, that's Hayami. Wait, Ozuma. Oh, Ozuma is this guy. He's the military guy, right? Jason. I wish they put Jason. I would remember if it was Jason. This was solid. Just good. It was just a good fight. Takamura versus Yajima. Wasn't this like a wash? This was just a wash. To be yeah, this was just a wash. It was fine. Ippo versus Kobashi. Oh, this is the cheese fight, right? When you like tried to cheese on points. Yeah, it's this guy. This was good. Like, I feel like most of Ippo's fights are pretty consistently good. There's only a few that are like, whatever. I don't know if there's any forgettable ones. I put forgettable just in case. Miata versus Mashiba was amazing. Because it just showed like what some boxers do. Like, they do whatever it takes to win. Yeah, the Ozuma fight was good. It might go up, but for now it's 7. Ippo versus Hayami. Oh, this was fire, bro. I don't know if it's not Miyata versus Machiba, but I feel like I don't think I'm gonna rank in tiers, but if I'm like definitive, I will. I feel like if it's easy. Ippo versus Machiba. That's tough. That's a really good fight. Ippo versus Sendo. I always forget which one's the better one. The second one, he dominated him more. But the first one was I'll get to that when we get to that. Ippo versus Sendo. I mean, they've had a few spars, Takemura and Sendo. Ippo versus Machiba. This is a hard one. I'll put it at 9 for now. I don't know if it's better than Miyata versus Machiba, but it was pretty damn good. I feel like Ippo pre-Dempsey doesn't hit that 10. You put the Machiba one over Sendo. Yeah, maybe I have to like rewatch it. It's been a long time since I've seen it. That's hard though. Takemura versus Sendo. Let me go on the. Where is it? Oh, I don't have it bookmarked. Read. What chapter? Let me check. Ippo, Machiba. Oh, this fight's a 10. Ippo, Machiba. Where's Machiba? Fight was this? What chapter? Oh, that was early. That was earlier than I thought. Let me 78. All right, so it was like early. The first one was the skill of Sendo. Oh wait, it hasn't started yet. Why did it say something? Okay, Ippo versus Machiba. I'm just gonna look at the first few. I never read it this early. I only read it post anime. Dang, Machiba looks so different. I guess they are pretty young here. They're like 18 years old. Maybe this is definitely a 9. I remember a little bit of it. Takemura versus Sendo spar. This was that first one. This was like fine. It was funny. For what it was funny. Ippo versus Sendo 1. Wait, Ippo Okita. I don't remember this one. Oh, this is like Budget Date. Wait, what did he hit him with? Oh, he got lucky against this guy. That was a plot armor win. This was good. I thought I remembered most of these when I looked at them, but now that I'm thinking about it, I don't remember them as much. The skill of Sendo. Well, I remember the latest Takamura versus Sendo, because I just read it not like a couple weeks ago. Then the shotgun guy fight, like Hayami. Or was Okita the shotgun? I thought Hayami was the shotgun. I think it's definitely a 9. I don't know if this is a 10. This is like somewhere around here. I'll put it right here. Ippo versus Okita. Honestly, I like kind of remember it. Miyata versus Sisfar was pretty good. It was definitely a 7. Ippo versus Volg was a 10. I remember that vividly. I also rewatched it. Ippo versus Okita. Ippo versus Okita. Ippo versus Okita. I think it's a 7. There's not many 6s. That's a thing. Ippo versus Miyata 1. Oda. I think this. I'll move it if I have to. Takamura versus Tamaki. I feel like Takamura's fights, they're all not that great until he gets to the world level. Ippo, Tamaki. Damn, he only lost once. Now it's Takamura. This was decent. I think it's a 6. I think the problem, yeah, he just dominates people. Yeah, Atsushi Tamaki. Tamaki. I don't know how to pronounce it. Ippo? Oh, Ippo Date is fire. Sendo Volg. Oh, this was so good. I remember this. I remember this. Sendo Volg. He beat him for the Japanese championship. Dude, Volg had a rough early. He had a rough early run. I think Volg might have got fucked by the refs, but I feel like it could have went either way. I think that was definitely a 10. Ippo versus who's Ponchai? Robbery. I watched it recently. I don't know. Is it a robbery? It could be. It was definitely debatable, but yeah, it was definitely debatable. Oh, this was a good fight. It was definitely fun. It was definitely good for how short it was. Volg should have won. Yeah, I think it's debatable, but I think it's still a 6, but it's one of the stronger of the 6s. Sendo versus Shigeta. Sendo. Wait, now let me just Google. There's Shigeta. I gotta put a face to the name. Kira. Oh wait, I kind of remember this guy. He lost to Sendo. Wait. Yeah, he lost to Sendo? Wait, did he not fight Ippo? Oh, he sparred. Did he got cooked, didn't he? Round 3. Punch eye. It is this fight. Let me look at this one. He was trash talking Ippo. Sendo. I think I'll have to put it at 6 for now. Ippo versus Sendo 2. I think this one's not as good, but it's still an 8. And then Mashiba versus Kimura might be one of my favorites. I don't know what it was, but Kimura looked way better than he ever did to this day. Like, he looked really good here. Bro, if Kimura was a lightweight, bro, oh my god, he'd be really good. Like, if he was in his proper weight class, he'd be really good. He'd be a champ. He would be a Japanese champ. I don't think he'd be world level, but he'd be a Japanese champ. Hundo P. I haven't watched this in a long time, but it like stuck to my brain on how good this fight is. It's like a mirror to the Rosario fight with Mashiba and how that one ended. But I don't know how far are you in the series? Ippo versus Sanada. I remember this guy. I just gotta I gotta look at him to memorize. He's a former junior featherweight champion. Oh wait, this is like the prodigy guy, right? He was a doctor. God damn, bro. 5'5". Unlucky. I think that's what's cool about combat sports is like no matter it doesn't matter really how tall you are. Yeah, he's the doctor guy. Like there's always like room for you to like be really good at something. Like you're not like you're genetic diffed, but not in the height department, which is cool. Oh, he cooked this guy. I remember him cooking this guy. Oh yeah, he did the Dempsey roll against him. This is kind of forgettable for me. It might not be. It's not. I actually don't remember this. I remember this guy. I remember everything about him but the fight. Miyata versus Arnie. Why do I keep Arnie? I feel like I should remember this one. Arnie. Yeah, that was cool. Arnie Gregory. Wait, who is this guy? He was the former champion. This was pretty good from what I remember. He got cooked, but it was cool. It's a 7. Ricardo versus Ippo. Oh my god. The bloody, yeah, he's a cross guy, yeah. This was fire. Might be the best bar so far. Ricardo versus Date's a 10. No question. It's either a 10 or a 9. It's like low 10 though. Ippo versus Hammer. Wait, Hammer. Now Michi. Bro, he was a demon. Why does he look like that? Wait, what? It was that guy? He fought Ippo? Bro, he grew. I always forgot. Dude, how did I forget this guy? I thought he just never did anything. No way, dude. That was him? I'm so dumb. I had to have watched this when I was a teenager because I do not remember most of this shit. Barf Michi. Yeah, I remember this guy. How did I not remember this? I don't know when I watched it. Ippo versus Hammer now. That is sick. He was only 8-1. He was 8-1. He should have. All right, let's do 2x speed because I'm trying to avoid copyright. He had a growth spurt. New challenger. I should remember this because it's like the newer seasons. He was 25. He's 25 now. 16 debut. Damn, he was pretty good. I kind of wish he came back. A little bit. I guess he wrote him out because he wasn't a popular character. That's the only thing I can think of. I think I remember. I do remember this fight though. He did pretty well. It's definitely a 7. Just mostly due to the fact that like a good part of it is the fact that it was like a former guy. Itagaki versus Fumito. I don't really. How do I not? I don't know why. Maybe I watched it to like. Maybe I marathon this. That's why I don't remember it as much. I guess we don't know how old this guy was. Oh, this. Wait, is this the guy? Is this who I think it is? Oh, it's Maki. Oh, I do remember this guy. I remember this fight. This was like the first one. I remember the second one, obviously, because I read it. Did you not watch the anime? Or you're... I think this was fine. Takamura versus Morris. Morris. Let's go with Morris. Morris. Oh, this was the meme one. Wasn't it? Oh, wait, no, it's not a meme one. Yeah, this is the fight before Hawk. I kind of remember it. This was a good... Was this a good one? Takamura... Morris. The ending... I remember the ending. Watch. Bro, you gotta read the whole series, brother. Shit's crazy. And the Takamura world fights, yeah. Takamura versus Morris. This was good though. This was definitely good. Like 6 is like fine. 7's good. 8's pretty, very good. 9's great, and then 10's like some of my favorites. It's obviously like. Takamura versus Hawk, I mean, it's either a 10 or a top of 9. I think if I have it right here, I don't think Ricardo versus Date is on that level. Ippo versus Yi Young. I don't remember this one. Ippo versus Yi. I don't think I'm pronouncing it right because it's Korean, but wait, he's Korean. Is he Korean? I thought, is he the Korean guy he fought? Yeah, Yi Young Soo. Yeah, Korean. Okay. That was like Ippo destroying this guy, right? Oh, he just destroyed this guy, yeah, so it's like forgettable. That's why I don't remember it. He got cooked. Oh yeah, he's the one that opened. Okay, so I do remember this one clearly. I obviously made a video. Anderson versus, oh, goated. Top. Actually, this is a 10. Kamogawa, wait. Oh, this is a different one. Kamogawa one is 10. Anderson. Ralph Anderson. How long was this arc? Oh, 15. That's not bad. Yeah, me just pummeled on Japanese fighters. Wait, did post-war, did they have a base there that fast? Oh, get fucked, idiot. I feel like Prime Kamigawa is not. No, I don't think so. Like with combat sports, normally, like for the in the most part, at the top level, people at the top are normally better than like people previously. At least previous generations. Maybe not in the same generation, but that's normally just because like science gets more optimized and stuff like that. People can optimize their bodies better just because of the studies and stuff like that. Fucking nerd shit. Anderson versus Nakota. I feel like Kamigawa versus Anderson was amazing. I don't know how long this one was. Was it a short one? Did he lose? Yeah, Hawk's like insane. Like obviously there's people like Hawk don't exist in the real world. Well, one, his style is like impossible. At least it's like it's exaggerated. At least it's just anime. So. Yeah, Anderson was an asshole. For sure. My hands all numb. Alright. I don't know how it looks on the... Oh, it looks fine. Oh, my stream's on the side. Oh, this is Kamigawa's one. He didn't show that one. I'm just gonna put forgettable for now because I don't remember it. Ippo versus Shimabukuro. Wait, this is the when people started countering the Dempsey roll, right? Ippo versus Shimabukuro. Wait, is this like a full fight? Dude, I'm shocked people like fucking can upload that. Ippo versus Shimabukuro. Oh, this is the fisherman guy. Oh, this was pretty good. Oh, this one's fire. I remember that. This one's fire. This one's like a good one for sure. Psyche was pretty good. Imai. Aoki versus Imai. Wait, this is a different, obviously a different Imai, but it's not Imai. Imai Ippo. this guy. Oh, this one's funny as hell. I like this one a lot. Aoki fights are great. Yeah, it's fine. It's on the level of Sendo. Ippo versus Volkspar. Those were 4 for Sawamura. I don't remember the spar, so it's probably fine. Ippo versus Sawamura, goated, bro. Ippo versus Sawamura, 9 for sure. It's really, really good. Kimura versus Eliki, they're forgettable. They're not that good. Well, wait, is this the first one? It's whatever. They're memes. Miyata versus I don't remember this, so this might be a forgettable one. Dodge Boy. Former Muay Thai kickboxer. Oh wait, I do remember this. (13 and 2), that's pretty good. 5 rounds. This was pretty good. I think this was definitely a 7. Takamura versus Eagle, like question, like is that even a question? 10? Where do I put this? I don't think it's is it better than Hawk? Thematically, yes. I think Takamura versus Hawk as a fight in terms of like choreography is better. Takamura versus Eagle thematically is better because he's like a similar fighter to Ippo, and I think that's really cool. Itagaki versus Fumito 2. This was pretty good. I think I like how it showed how he dominated him. And then Ippo versus Karasawa. Is this like this was right after season? This is the manga territory. Peak fight. Karasawa. I remember this. This fight was fine. He kind of got cooked, to be real. You got cooked. Itagaki versus oh my god, this fight it frustrates me because it felt like Itagaki knew what to do to win, but he kind of ignored his whole strategy and like made it closer than it should have been. But it's still a 10. Oh, Ippo versus Take might be my favorite. I know a lot of people don't like it, but I think the build up into the fight itself was fire. It's probably not my favorite, but it's up there. Miyate versus Joan Che. This was like okay, I think. This is like not a serious one. Oh yeah, he cheated against him. I think it's a 7 though. It's pretty good. Mashiba versus Sawamura. Okay, this is one of the best fights. Mashiba versus Sawamura, bro. Oh, Itagaki versus Hoshi. It has to be a 7. But for the moment, it's a 9. But as a fight, it's a 7. But I have to keep it as a 7. Miyata versus Sisfar might be higher because from what I remember, I don't know. Wait, Fate. I don't know what this is. Why is this here? Ippo versus Sisfar was really good. It was an 8. Ippo versus I'm surprised people don't like Ippo versus Ghetto. Like Ippo, this is like, it's like all these fights right here. Well, besides I think Sisfar. Yeah, like all like the champion fights he does before Alfredo. It just shows how like he's good, but the main reason why he's good is because of his mental game and his physicality. His skill is not that good here. Like he doesn't have much skill. So it's like, and no, his more so, I guess more so fundamentals, which you could say. I think Miyata versus RBJ could have been so much better. I think it was a disappointment, but it's still like good. It should have been a 10 just with the build up. Mashiba versus Aaron. Oh, this is pretty good. It's nothing crazy. Oh, the Volk versus Wally spar is a 7 just because like it's a spar. It's hard to be really good as a spar. Ippo versus Wally, 9, 100%. Ippo versus Wally is so good. I think at first it kind of sucks. I think reading it week to week, it kind of is disappointing. It's just Ippo getting his ass beat the whole time. But I think once you see like the buildup of Wally's damage come clutch, it makes it a lot better because it doesn't. It's like Ippo's not getting like mercilessly beat down. Like it looked like he just couldn't do anything. Like obviously he couldn't do much, but his accumulated damage when he was in close range, and it showed like the mental game at its peak. Itagaki versus Karasawa. This was really good, I think. This was the, oh wait, no, that's the Psyche one. This was good. I think both of them are 8s. It's just like speedster fights, and Itagaki kind of destroyed Karasawa. With Psyche, it was a little closer. Oh, Ippo versus Kojima for the aura, you have to at least put it in 8. I think it's a better moment than what Itagaki did. Because like you just don't expect Ippo to be that brutal. For Itagaki, he fights to win sometimes. He gets cocky though, but Ippo's like, I just don't care. Iga versus Aoki. I think this was good. I think it's cool. I think it's good. It's just good. Volk versus Mike though might be a 10. Oh wait, this is a different one. This one's fine. I think it's wait. Volk, wait. Which one I do? Oh, Itagaki versus Imai 2 is definitely worse than the first one. But it just showed like how cocky he has been, and then he hasn't really been in the same mindset since, and in universe it's been several years. So I hope he comes back, but I get the focus is not on Itagaki at the moment. So hopefully when we get back to him, because I think Itagaki is really fun to watch. Him and Miyata are really fun to watch as fighters. But I feel like Itagaki's more interesting when he's on point. And then Volk versus Mike is easy 10. Mike Elliott. One of the best world title fights we've had. It's pretty dang good. I mean, all the world title fights he pretty much goes all out for. And then Ippo versus Alfredo, I think it's definitely a 9. It's very good. I just feel like in universe, he just wasn't ready, and you kind of felt that with the build-up and stuff. Like him fighting him after how exposed he got fighting Wally, he should not have fought Alfredo. Because he needed to fix his fundamentals. Like, honestly, if he had like basic good fundamental, like if he had decent fundamentals, he would have destroyed Alfredo in Wally. He just Ippo's strategy was all in all the time, and that just didn't work against these type of people. Because Alfredo just beat him with pure fundamentals, and then switched up to his like more aggro style. Because he just beat and he had the advantage just because Ippo lost himself in the fight. But it was definitely like a wake-up call here. Mashiba versus Romeo. Is this not Rosario? Who's Romeo? Romeo. Oh, it's a different guy. I don't remember this at all. I read this obviously, but when the match began, Romeo prepared himself as Mashiba. Oh, this was awesome. This was good. I think this is definitely a 7. There's like a 8, maybe it's an 8. Sendo versus Jose. Oh, this was at least an 8. This was so good. And then, I mean, like, Sendo versus Jose was awesome because, like, it just put the fear. It might be a 9. It put the fear in what's it called? It put the fear in Jose. And this was like the build up to fight 10 months in the making. I don't even know what that means, dude. I don't know why these fights are here. Hajime versus Unknown. Oh, this is like, oh, this was sad. Miyata versus Arnie. I think it has to be an 8. And then I'm moving this up too. I am convinced that Miyata versus RBJ though was a big disappointment. It was good, but it wasn't bad though. Like, I think people, I know the community thinks it's bad. Takuma versus Bison's obviously a 10. I think I'll order the 10s and 9s just because there's not that many. The downfall of Hayami was sad. Yeah, because he was such a cool fighter. I wish he kind of didn't write him off like that. It would have been cool to see him like fight someone else, like Itagaki. I think it would have been cool to see Itagaki fight him, and then he ends him. Because Hayami's obviously very good. Like, Ippo pretty much shouldn't have won against him. It was plot armor, but... Or luck, I guess. More so luck. Oshima versus Iga. Oshima versus Iga. I liked Iga. Oshima. Oh, this fight was fire, bro. I like this one a lot. It's a good 8. It's definitely an 8. And then Ippo versus Guevara was just sad. It was the glass jaw. Yeah, exactly. Like, Ippo permanently damaged his jaw. Ippo versus Guevara was an 8. I think it wasn't interesting just because, like, Guevara wasn't nearly as good as Ippo. It was just Ippo was like, his body just couldn't take hits well due to the Alfredo fight and like probably previous fights building up to that. Definitely the Alfredo fight messed him up bad. And I'm actually shocked that Kamogawa didn't notice that. After the Alfredo fight, like, I think like 9 months, I don't know. I think 9 months was a fine enough time, but not noticing that, and then also not like working on its fundamentals. Like, he didn't really work on that stuff. Instead, he tried to do a new Dempsey role, which just not it, bro. So Ippo the second. I don't know why these are here. These aren't fights. Oh, we don't have the Ippo. We don't have the Rosario fight here. Mashiba versus Iga. Oh my god, this was amazing. It just exposed that Iga's good. But bro, he was such a fraud. Easy 8. In the story, Kamigawa is considered a good boxer. A boxing coach. Yeah. And he's also like, he follows science to a T. So it's like, it's really weird he didn't notice that. But I think it's good writing. Because like, if it was anyone else, he would have noticed that. But with Ippo, he sees himself in Ippo. So he kind of like either ignores it or unconscious. Like, he just doesn't see it when it comes to Ippo. Because he like kind of sees Ippo as bigger than a person. What's the saying? I guess he sees him like a shining star rather than like a really strong, like Takamura. Like, I feel like with Takamura, the eye thing is really hard to tell. It's really hard to tell that with his eye, because it's hard to like diagnose. Because like, he obviously can, like, in everyday life, it's fine, but when he gets hurt really bad, or like gets hurt a decent bit, that's when it like starts messing up. But with Ippo, he just sees him, he's more larger than life as a fighter as well. Just like, he's so unique in his division. He doesn't see like the damage. But yeah, Mashiba versus Iga was just fraud watch. It was pretty sick. Mashiba he just destroyed him. It was awesome. Sendo versus Alfredo. It could be a 10. I think it's better. It's better than Ippo versus Alfredo. So I think it might be a 10. It's a weaker 10 though, I think. And Ricardo. Oh my God, Ricardo versus Billy was so funny. It's an 8 just because of how funny it was. Like, it's actually sad how much he beat him with just like, he just could not do anything. Yeah, my take is that whenever he gets hurt in general, I don't think it's like tied to his leg, but like his leg does get hurt easier than other things. So it might just be his leg. Like normally it is his leg when it happens, but I don't think it's just because of his leg. I think it's just because his leg is like weaker. Because he got into an he got hit by a car. So I think it's like the pain makes it so he doesn't have peripheral vision. So like when people go for the wide hits, like his peripheral vision's like his vision's like this. He doesn't see everything else. So like when people go for wide, it doesn't look like they're going wide on their left. So, but he's done it. He's seen it before when he's not as hurt or he like recovers. Keith versus Takamura is definitely it's pretty good. It's his weaker one. I don't know if it's a 9 though. I think it's weaker. Well, I think thematically it's a 9. I think as a fight itself, just because like it was so dominant. I don't know. He does a really good job with it. Imai versus Hoshi. Oh, that's a 9. Slugfest. I love that. Mashiba versus Juan Garcia. Oh, this was pretty good too. I think it's an 8 for sure. Ippo versus Volg this might be my favorite spar because this is like Ippo post-retirement. And this is like Ippo like kind of getting a new lens, and like him being a second and like coaching people gave him a new perspective, which he should have gotten with Kamigawa. I think Kamigawa helps him a lot but hurts him as well. I think if he had a different coach that wasn't super biased towards Ippo, or maybe not that, maybe sees himself in Ippo, I think then Ippo, like if he had like who's the guy that coaches Hawk and stuff, if he's coached by like Hawk coach, or maybe like maybe not that, because he coaches talented people more. That's his like specialty. I don't know. I think if he had like a really strong coach, but like obviously I think Kamigawa from what we've seen is probably the best. Then I think Ippo would be a lot better, but I think this might be the best bar. I think it's a 9. And then Ricardo versus Wally is a 9. I think it would be better if Wally took him a little further. What I expect Ricardo versus Sendo to be a 10. That's my prediction. So we got Ricardo versus Wally. We got to go the arc. Let's go the arcs because there's more arcs. I'm sure they don't have I guess that's like the latest one. So this was made like a couple years ago. Story arcs. So we have part 3. Sendo in Mexico. Keith Dragon. Was this the... Yeah, this was the Ricardo fight. Then Judgment. Yeah, so like the only fight we're missing that I can think of is Mashiba versus Rosario. And I think the ending... I don't know. There's a couple things. I think it's a high 8 though. It's an 8 or 9. It's really good, but I think the ending, I don't like how he went out, in my opinion. It's not bad. It's just not the best way he could have done it. I think he shouldn't have won, but I think if he lost in a different way, it would have been more satisfying. But all right, I'm going to at least try to rank the 10s. There's a lot more 10s than I thought and a lot more 9s. So my favorite fight in the series, this is hard to pick. It might be. It's. I'm gonna try to find the contentions. Well, Kamigawa is really good at building up the body. He's good at training the body itself in mental game, but I think he lacks in teaching fundamentals. Like he does like half of it right, but I feel like he's not, I don't know, he just doesn't teach Ippo to like space jabs and stuff. I know his reach isn't that good, but he kind of needs it still. Because Ippo just always tries to go in and takes hits instead of like trying to go in while jabbing and using jabbing, weaving, all that stuff he has. Like, I think it needs to be part of it. It's like, it shouldn't be his main thing because obviously weaving and his peekaboo style is really good. He's really good at like dodging stuff. But as he goes in, he's not. And he needs to like be able to make people throw less stuff. And that's why he has like the damage built up. So I think okay, so Mashiba versus Kimura's up there, I think. I don't know, it's hard to tell. I think Ippo versus Take is really good. But Mashiba versus Sawamura is up there. I don't think it'll be my favorite, but it's definitely on the top. Ippo. Ippo versus Volg is so good. I think Ippo versus Date might be. Takamura versus Eagle's pretty good. I think I like Hawk a little more. Imai versus Itagaki would be a lot higher if Itagaki wasn't dumb in that fight. Volg versus Mike, maybe, but I feel like I just don't like fights where like overwhelming bias is like in the fights. I think like I get it, like that's part of the boxing, but it's not fun. It's not as fun to watch. Takamura versus Bison's pretty good. I don't think a Takamura fight's my favorite though. I think it has to be like a Mashiba or an Ippo fight. So I think Ippo versus Volg, Mashiba versus Kimura. I really like Kimura's style though. I think Ippo versus Date is up there. Ippo versus Take is definitely up there. Ippo versus Volg. Itagaki versus Imai is so good. I think, okay, so I think it's going to be Ippo versus Volg, Mashiba versus Kimura, Mashiba versus Sawamura, Ippo versus Dake, Ippo versus Take. Did I say Dake? Date. Hawk is up here. Volg versus Mike. Takamura versus Eagle is probably right here. Sendo versus Volg is probably right there. Then Itagaki versus, no. Then Volg. I like Volg as a fighter. Volg versus Mike. Oh, Anderson versus Kamigawa though. I think this is right here. Well, it might be better than Eagle, honestly. Volg versus, actually I kind of like it more than, I think Volg versus Mike actually more than Eagle, because like the Eagle thing was just like it was a cheese fight for sure because of all the accidental, like the headbutt accident and then the cut, him getting cut on accident just happened. I know it's like natural for that to fight, but I think like having like art, like randomness in a fight kind of pisses me off. It's not as satisfying. Takamura versus Bison though, I think it's better than a lot of this stuff. Takamura versus Bison. Oh, the ending though. I think it might be up here. Right behind. Is it better than Hawk? I think it's right here. I think it's a little bit better than Ippo versus Date. I don't know. Ippo versus Take is like one of my most memorable ones. in the manga, just because like it was so unique. Volg versus Mike is really good. Takuma versus Eagle, Sendo versus Volg, Itagaki versus Mai, Ippo versus Alfredo. I think this is how I would rank my 10s. At least for now. I don't know how I'll rank them moving forward. I would have to like. That's if I showed how talented Takuma is and I really like how that fight is. Yeah, it's definitely up there. It's a top 5. I think this is a good top. Yeah, Ippo versus Volg, Mashiba versus Kimura, Mashiba versus Sawamura. Then Takuma versus Hawk is pretty good. I think that's my favorite one. I don't know. It's a toss up between Hawk and Bison. I think the fact that Bison came out of nowhere, I kind of have to respect that. I think it is my favorite world title. It's my favorite world title fight in the series. Because he has Hawk, Bison, Eagle, and then I think Keith is the worst one. It's still really good though. I think for now we'll go back and see. Itagaki versus Omai was so good. I just think like the second half when Itagaki kind of gave up on his strat and then like kind of screwed himself over, kind of ruined it for me. But then Ippo versus Alfredo was very, very good. It's just hard because there's so many good fights. Like Ippo versus Alfredo would be a top 1 fight in like a lot of other series. So if we go Sendo versus Alfredo, Ricardo versus Date, Mashiba versus Miyata. Dude, Mashiba. Ippo versus Mashiba. I think I like, honestly, I'm gonna move this above. I think it's better than Alfredo. Ippo versus Alfredo. Now I'm thinking about it. Ippo versus Sawamura. I think Ricardo versus Wally. I don't know, dude. This one's so good, but it's like so close. Imai versus Hoshi was unexpectedly very good, but I think 9's fine. I think this is fine. I think I have to put Ippo versus Mashiba up there. That's like, I need to. I think you're right that Ippo versus Mashiba is better than Sendo. But I like Sendo as a character more. I think his fights on average are better, even if I don't rank it that way. I don't know. So Sendo versus Alfredo, Ricardo versus Date, Miyata versus Mashiba. Oh, Ippo versus Sawamura, Ippo versus Wally. Actually, not. I think Ippo versus Wally is an 8, honestly. I think it was too, even though it like kind of like paid off in the long run, it definitely wasn't as fun to read. It was kind of it was repetitive and annoying for a while, but I think the payoff saves it from being like a 7 or a 6. Because I thought first it was gonna be really bad, but I was like, damn, this sucked. Because like Wally's fighting style was so cool, but like Ippo just looked like he was just a punching bag, and that's boring. And with like the difference, like, because like Sendo versus Jose was kind of similar, where he was a punching bag for a while, but it's like he's built to like he always can change something with one punch, where like Ippo, he does have that, but the way like when you get into his head, it's just annoying as hell. Sendo versus Alfredo is definitely, I think Ricardo versus Date is probably better. And then I think Keith is, would you rather read the fights or watch the fights? I mean, I'd rather watch it, but I think anime is normally better if it's adapted well, and the anime does it very well. I mean, I always prefer anime over manga, but I always read manga just because like I need to know what's happening. Obviously, like the way he does the paneling makes it a lot better. Like it's pretty close, I think, just because like he's really good at paneling, and his double page spreads are really good, and he makes the I think he's just really good at drawing choreography. I think he's like, I would like, if I had to rank, like I would say like you have Dragon Ball, the goated choreography in manga, Dragon Ball Z specifically, and then honestly the tier below you have Ippo for sure, like Ippo, JJK, stuff like that. Just really good choreography. I think Ricardo, Sendo, Takamura versus Keith is right here. Ippo versus Sendo, I think is better than Miyata versus Mashiba. Ippo versus Sawamura, I think this makes sense, putting it right here. This was fire. Sendo versus Jose was pretty good. I think it might be lower. Ricardo versus Wally, this might be better than Mashiba versus Miyata. I like the Mashiba versus Miyata, but I think like knowing Miyata should not have lost that one, and obviously like he did cheat. Well, I guess Miyata, like, he should have been better. Like, even that, like, his foot being messed up, like, he is a one trick at this point in the story. Where, like, he could definitely infight, but, like, he gets better, way better at infighting later in the series. And then him being, like a lot, his, like, outboxing was so much better. Obviously, that's, like, his preferred method, but I think, like, he just wasn't, he didn't have much variety at this point. He's kind of like Ippo in that aspect. Like his inboxing was pretty good, but his outboxing was obviously like just as good as like Ippo's inboxing, or even better. I think Miyata at this point was probably should have beat Ippo. I think he kind of would have beat his ass. So I guess him losing here makes sense, because like I think that would have been hard to write, because Miyata felt like he was much better. Because against Mashiba, he was destroying him. Ippo versus Geto. Imai versus Hoshi is definitely better. Ippo versus Volg. Spar. Just because, like, spars are hard, but, like, the weight of the spar. And then Sendo versus Jose, I think, is right here. I think the Sendo's, when he fights against inboxers, I think Sendo's fights are better. So, like, Sendo's best fight is Alfredo, in my opinion, than Ippo. Oh, wait, no, it's Volg, because I have it right there. It's Volg fight, yeah. Like, you can see a pattern, like, inboxers. Yeah, so I think this is it. I'm not going to rank the others, because, like, I honestly, like, there's just too many. I only care about, like, the best of the best. So my first, I'm going to read my top 5. My first is Volg versus Ippo. It could, like, I think the top 3 could switch. Or top 2. I think Mashiba versus Kimura is up there. And Ippo versus Volg. I don't see Sawamura versus Mashiba being there, but it's pretty close. And then we got Takamura versus Bison at 4, and then Takamura versus Hawk at 5. I think the Ippo versus Date, like on like at that point, it could be like in terms of like the shock value, because you just didn't expect him to lose, just because he just been persevering the whole time. The shock value for sure puts it at that. Well, let me move this so you can see. This is where I have Ippo versus Mashiba right here. I think I didn't put as many 10s as I normally would in like other stuff. So, okay, we're gonna save this. Ippo match tier list. I wish I could do, yeah, Kimura kind of got sidelined after the Mashiba fight, to be honest. I think it's just hard, like he had to focus on a lot of other stuff. I was gonna do the other tier list, but we've been going on for like an hour. So next video is gonna be like the new chapter that comes out. That'll be the start of Sendo versus Ricardo. Maybe an exchange. I don't think it'll be like the whole like it'll be like the introductions and stuff like that, and in the end will probably be like they hit each other or something, or the match starts. And then I'm gonna do I think I want to do a fight on Take versus Ippo. I'm not super into the community. Like I normally only go to the Reddit to see when the new chapter comes out. But I feel like whenever I did read a thread, people felt like they didn't like it as much. So I kind of want to do a video on like why I like it a lot. It's one of my favorites for sure. Where did I put it eventually? I put it top 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's my 8th favorite fight. So like this is how I feel right now. I think like if I sat and thought about it a lot longer, it would have been one. It would have been boring, and I would have to like kind of like if I did on my own time, I would like be watching stuff and like reading a little bit of it. But I'm kind of like thinking about it like how I think about it now that I finished the manga like a couple 2 or 3 weeks ago. It's a really fast read, by the way. Like, it's very fast. So just like fighting, like choreography, like you don't have to like read text for like forever. So yeah, this is my tier list. We got the squad on here. My Ippo match tier list. I'll actually go through it so like any VOD watchers can like just if they want to skip to the end or if they want to see it clear. So we got all this right here. And I'll scroll down and I'll actually move my camera right here. So I'll keep that on here for a little bit. Then you can see what's going on and pause here, I guess, if you want to see it. So that's my tier list. I think it was pretty good. Some of my favorite matches. I think like boxing is like, I think I really like boxing and boxing, baseball are some of my favorites in terms of like reading it as a story or like watching them as a story in general, like in movies or anything like that, just because like they focus on the, I think mental game is probably the best aspect of sports. And when like you have as many one-on, like obviously baseball's a team sport, but like when you're when you're hitting or pitching, like focusing on those primarily, or like catching, it's pretty much a 1v1 sport in that aspect, in those positions, and like making your breaking your mental is pretty cool. And knowing that like in boxing, like yeah, you could train, like obviously skill matters a lot, but like if you're not in the right mindset and you let your emotions like take over, like if you get like too angry or too like nervous or you're like not as confident, become very pessimistic, you just kind of get your ass beat. You just got to go in knowing that you can win, that you're better than them no matter what, even if you think even if like they have the odds to win. You have to go in like knowing that you are better and everything you prepared for, you're doing the best you can. And if you lose, it's not like, I don't know, I think losing, like there's no such thing as losing until you retire. Like that's when you lost. If you didn't accomplish what you wanted to do and you retired, that's when you lost. Because losing is just a learning experience. You always reflect on like, how did I lose? I think losing is really important, and I think like I think that's what's, I want to like kind of go to tangent with like Ricardo. I think Ricardo losing won't be the end of the story. I think that's what actually is going to happen. I think he's going to try, I think he will become the world champion again after this. If he does lose, if like whoever, I think it'll probably be Ippo that fights him and beats him. It would be interesting. It would be interesting to him to lose first, and then he fights again to fight Ippo, and then he beats Ippo, and that's the end. Because he always wanted to find someone. I don't think he'll like lose and be like, oh, I found someone that could beat me, so I'm gonna retire. I think that's dumb, because I think he wants to learn from his loss to see how he can get better, because like he's just been so much better than everyone else that no one can challenge him. And I think that's what's gonna happen. And then I think he's probably going to win, and like, but before that, I think like Ippo will fight Miyata and beat Miyata, and then he fights Ricardo and loses, or something like that. I think he's gonna fight Ricardo twice, and that'll probably be the end of the story. But yeah, that is my stream. I hope you guys enjoyed. It was pretty fun. I like never thought, like the main reason why I thought this was so interesting for me is because I never really thought about like all of my favorites. Like I had like a couple in mind, but I didn't know where they were placed, and like seeing it visually kind of gets me a better idea of how I like the series and what I think about the series. Because it's definitely one of my favorites. It's not like on the top, but like the top like 10 or it might be I don't know if it's top 10, but it's definitely up there for me. And I think, I don't know, it could be getting up there if we get like a really good Ricardo match. I think the Sender Ricardo one could change it. Like it could make it, like it's pretty close up there. It's like a 9.5 for me right now. So All right. See you guys later.